The White Hare of Inaba by Japanese Folktales. Brought to you by TellStory.net, stories from around the world. Long ago, a white hare lived alone on the island of Oki, far from the mainland of Inaba. Though his island was peaceful, the hare longed to cross the sea to Cape Kita, where the land stretched wide and full of wonders. One day, he saw a family of wanazame, great sharks that some say were sea dragons, swimming in the waters between his island and the shore. A clever idea came to him.
Honored sharks! I have been wondering which clan is greater in number, the hares or the sharks?
The lead shark lifted his great head from the water.
That is an interesting question, little hare. How might we know the answer?
If you and your family would line up from my island to the mainland, I could hop across your backs and count you. Then I would know whether your clan or mine is larger.
The sharks were intrigued by this proposal and agreed to help. They called their entire family and arranged themselves in a long line across the sea, each one close enough to the next that the hare could easily jump from back to back. The white hare began his journey across the living bridge.
1, 2, 3,
He counted aloud, hopping from shark to shark.
20, 30, 40.
But as he neared the mainland shore, pride overtook the hare's good sense.
47, 48. What fools you are! I never cared about counting you. I only wanted to use you as a bridge to cross the sea.
The sharks were furious at this betrayal. Before the hare could reach the safety of the shore, the last shark grabbed him and tore away his beautiful white fur, leaving him with raw, bleeding skin. The hare tumbled onto the beach in agony, stripped bare and helpless under the harsh sun and salt wind. As the hare lay suffering on the sand, he heard voices approaching. A group of gods was traveling along the coast, 80 brothers making their way to the province of Inaba to seek the hand of Princess Yakami, who was known throughout the land for her beauty and wisdom. The first brothers came upon the injured hare and stopped.
What happened to you, creature?
I angered the sharks, and they stripped away my fur.
The brothers looked at each other and laughed.
We can help you. Go bathe in the seawater, then climb to the mountain top and let the wind dry you.
Desperately hoping for relief, the hare followed their advice. But the salt water burned his wounds terribly, and when the wind dried the salt into his raw skin, the pain became even worse. The hare collapsed on the beach again, crying out in misery. Soon, another traveler came along the shore. This was Anamuchi, the youngest of the 80 brothers. Unlike his siblings who had rushed ahead, Anamuchi was carrying their bags and supplies, walking far behind. When he saw the suffering hare, Anamuchi knelt beside him with genuine concern.
Little one, what has brought you to such suffering?
The hare told him the whole truth this time, how he had tricked the sharks, how he had boasted and been punished, and how the other gods had given him advice that only increased his pain.
Those brothers gave you cruel counsel. Here is what you must do. Go to the mouth of that river and bathe in the fresh water. Then gather the pollen from the cattail plants growing on the bank and roll in it.
The hare did as Anamuchi instructed. The fresh water soothed his wounds, and when he rolled in the soft cattail pollen, it formed a healing covering over his raw skin. Within moments, his pain began to ease, and soon his white fur started growing back even more lustrous than before. The hare looked up at Anamuchi with gratitude shining in his eyes. Then, to the god's surprise, the hare's form began to shimmer and change, revealing his true divine nature.
Kind Anamuchi, you have shown true compassion where your brothers showed only cruelty. Though they rush ahead to win Princess Yakami's favor, it is you who shall marry her. Your brothers may be first to arrive, but your kindness marks you as the worthiest. This is my prophecy to you.
And so it came to pass. When the 80 brothers reached Princess Yakami and each presented their case, she turned them all away. But when Anamuchi arrived last, carrying the bags and supplies, Princess Yakami recognized in him the gentle spirit and true nobility that the white hare had seen. She chose him above all his brothers. The white hare's prophecy had come true, and Anamuchi's kindness was rewarded. From that day forward, Anamuchi became known as Okinanushi, the great land master, one of the most beloved gods in all of Japan, and his story with the white hare was told throughout the land as a reminder that compassion is the greatest virtue of all.